What's up, everyone? Barstool USC here. We got the usual suspects around the table. We got Charlie, we got Emma, we got Ethan, and we got Isabel. But we got a little special guest coming back from the motherland, you could say, España. We got Hunter in the building. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, guys. Good to be back. Good to be back with the squad here, for sure. Happy to say I'm now better than all of you guys since I've been abroad for a semester and you guys are uncultured swine.
Yep.
But glad to be back with the gang. Saw the fight. Had a lot, kind of was upset I wasn't there, but glad to be back with the gang.
That's awesome. Hit everybody with your intro just to familiarize yourself.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, everything between to the Gamecock Rundown here on
Week something.
radio. I don't know.
Week something.
You're on the radio.
We're audio now, people. All right, let's cut right into it. Let's cut into our interview with Christian May, a.k.a. the fighter from Rough N Rowdy for Barstool USC versus Barstool Clemson.
How are you doing, Christian?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad that I can actually eat food again. So
yeah, so tell everybody about your process of cutting weight and what it took to get down 15 pounds.
Well, to tell that story, we have to go over Clemson Carl, who is 155 pounds, and this is in my opinion, but I did look it up, and that's the 50th percentile for 17-year-olds in the United States of America. So that's not normal. And I usually, over Christmas break, I weighed at 190. I usually weigh 185. And he said that he would only fight, he wanted to fight Mike originally, but Mike's fucking 6'5", 250 or something like that. It's not going to be fair.
240.
So I'm yeah, okay, 240, 250. And I'm somewhat close. He said he wouldn't fight unless I got down to at least 170. So I had to lose and I was 185 at the time. We told him I was 180, so he would agree to do it. But I ended up losing 16 pounds and got to 169, which sucked.
Nice.
Sex.
Yeah,
but eating nothing. I was had 2 meals a day and working out twice a day. Totally bites.
Yeah, but
we did get there.
It was nice.
What?
It was nice. 169.2.
Yeah. Some do say it is a nice weight to be at. As a male.
All right, so
And
talk.
girl, too.
Yes, girls say it too. It's the least selfish way of sexing. So talk us through the fight day. What went on behind the scenes when we weren't with you?
If anybody that's listening to this is familiar with Barstool, it is the most Barstool thing ever. Say we got there usually supposed to be there from 4 to 6. We got there at 4:30 to 5ish, and literally the lines were out of order. There was no organization whatsoever. There was 3 different lines. They were not in order. And then I did all that. And then by the time that they were doing opening ceremonies, they were telling us they were making us go through regulations. They were breathalyzing us, for God's sakes. While they were they were singing the national anthem and shit like that. It was just so out of order, but at the same time everything worked out. So I guess they know what they're doing. I would do it differently personally, but I don't know.
What
It was a lot of stress.
What type of people did you meet at this event? Backstage with all those?
Well, I'm from, as you know, I'm from Charlotte, and this was in Charlotte, so I kind of know all the neighboring areas like Gastonia, Concord, and stuff like that. So I know all the Hicks and stuff like that, and they're all borderline psychopaths, I guess, but they were also the nicest people you ever meet. For people that were they knew they were about to kick each other's asses, they were all being crazy nice. It didn't actually make sense. So it was kind of bothered. It was a little bit scary actually to think about.
Could you say you were telling me that they were all sweethearts?
Oh, okay. I'll give you a list of sweethearts. Throw a Ride, number 1 in my list of sweethearts. The nicest guy I've ever met. I watched all his videos and I wanted to hate him. Nicest guy I think I've ever met in my life. He was so nice to everybody, even though he's 250 pounds of pure muscle.
Isabel and I got
Then
free
there was
Throw
another
Ride
guy who was
t-shirts.
from Concord. He's not far from where I grew up. He was a really nice guy. The Clemson kid tried to be a sweetheart, but I'm not buying it because he said some really rude things on the internet. And then the Bavarian Hercules, I don't think he's actually a person. I think he's a robot, so I don't really know what to say about him. It kind of fucking scared me.
He was literally Ivan Drago when I went to talk to him.
No, he doesn't feel emotions. Like he was just sitting there. He was like, yeah, rice, like some rice cakes and honey and everything like that. And I was like, dude, you know you're about to fight somebody in front of like 100,000 people.
He's just like, yeah, it's good. I'm excited. So all right, we got the pre-fight. What was going through your mind before the fight, like right as the fight started?
At that point, I was pretty much zoned in. It was literally just, well, in the video, Clemson Carl kept saying he was gonna make me drink, like I had to eat through a tube, and he's gonna. I don't understand this part, but he said I was gonna like turn my face like chicken salad. I don't really know what that means, but that kind of got me in the zone.
But
because I didn't want my face to be chicken salad.
But on the record, Christian after the fight had nothing wrong with him on his face or his arms. The only thing that was wrong with him was
to humbly brag, just as handsome as I was before the fight.
humble brag. The only thing that was wrong with him is Clemson Carl's blood was all over his chest and arms.
It was over my chest and arms, and I do still have some of the blood. Let's put that on the record.
Do you ever shower?
No. I kept the blood. I'm a big fan of Dexter, so I do have. I washed the blood off with a paper towel, and I'm going to put it in a blood slide. Keep it for the rest of my life.
So he always remembers about this fight. So let's talk about during the fight, like what was going on through your mind. It was pretty messy. It was a lot of misses and a lot of
boxing. But after the first 20, 30 seconds, I realized I don't know the kid. I don't know what his shape was, but I did feel like I was in control. And I didn't think that he would be able to knock me on the ground. And I mean, he didn't. But I do know that after the first round, I was pretty tired. But halfway through the second, I was exhausted. I was just sitting there, and I was like, God dang it! I do just want to knock this kid out, but at the same time, I don't know if I physically can because I am not in boxing shape.
I was gonna say, I feel like you during the fight, could you hear the crowd? Could you hear anybody in particular?
Honestly, Mike, the only thing I heard was your psycho ass. I had a whole group because I'm from Charlotte. All my boys from Charlotte, it's the SE fraternity was all there, and they were all screaming and stuff like that. I didn't hear anything except you just yelling some messed up stuff that I don't think I should say, on the record.
Yeah, if you watch the live stream, you got a live taste on that.
Yeah, I'll say what I said after we get off the phone.
I'm not gonna repeat it because I'm trying to get a job in the future.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up on my part.
Yeah, but you can never have a better ringman than that.
Yeah, true. If you want somebody on your side to back you up and boost you up.
You don't want him to jump in the ring and do murder, but you want him to be thinking about it.
That's the best quote I've ever heard in my life. So we got through the fight. What happened post-fight? You just looked terrible. You just looked.
I actually I grew up doing cross country and track, and I've been consider myself in shape. But if you go on and run a full game of basketball, you realize you're not in basketball shape. Boxing shape is a whole new animal on its own. It was only 3 1-minute rounds, so I thought it was gonna be easy. But it's 3 1-minute rounds of you going all as hard as you can because it's rough and rowdy. And also I was not a big fan of the kid going into it. I just wanted to hurt him. And the cameras are on you, and you got the Barstool personalities, Frank Kaminsky, all that. You're really trying to hurt the kid, knock him out for the show, but after the first round and a half, you're just shit. I'm just gonna try to keep beating him, but I don't think I can actually hurt him that much anymore. You'll see me try to punch, and my arms are literally a straight line. It's the worst punches you'll ever see in your life.
It was awesome. It was one of the better things I've seen in my life.
Rough N Rowdy. I mean,
it's just like you said before, you can either go into Rough N Rowdy knowing a lot about boxing, or you can go into Rough N Rowdy knowing nothing and just turning into a street fight.
Especially in this case, when you see the guy that you're fighting and he's smaller and he doesn't really look like he's that much of a fighter and everything like that. At that point, you just need to make it a street fight and just try your best to beat him at that.
I'm just happy you won because I was afraid for your mental and physical health if you lost. What would happen to you?
I told you, I would have killed myself immediately.
I would have probably killed myself too and deleted the Barstool account.
Yeah, no, you should have changed it to Clemson, Barstool.
Yeah.
And then just kill yourself.
We would have had a suicide pact.
It would have
been awful. Well, good thing you did win. Well, thank you for that. Do you have any closing words for Clemson Carl or USC or anybody?
Clemson Carl? say like that much about him because like he did say some really fucked up stuff and then like in the like stuff before, but I think he was just kind of doing that to like sell the fight and like I don't know, try to make a personality for himself. But in real life, he was kind of nice to us, which kind of confused me.
It did confuse
But,
me too.
I don't know.
Do you want to say anything to USC, the student body?
Honestly, I'm just glad that I could win for him. You know, I'm not trying to embarrass myself in front of the whole school. And I mean, I like to look at like the average, like, okay, so Clemson sports have been beating us, but if you look at the average USC kid and the average Clemson kid, I think we whoop their ass 9 times out of 10.
That's true. And also, this pretty much turned the tides in the rivalry, I would say. Lacrosse won and you won, so I don't think we're ever going to lose to Clemson again, and then you're going to get a statue erected.
He looked fucked up after that, but I think if he spent a weekend at USC drinking and doing everything that we do, he'd probably just be dead.
Yeah, he would have made it through.
Well, Mike, you saw him in the video. He did drink those shots, you know, and calling us out. That was pretty rad ass.
That was pretty fucking cool on his part. Yeah, it was fucking nuts, dude. I still want to get the bartender's number and be like, did you actually give him shots? Because he did not drink those shots.
Damn, dude, you took 5.
The kid couldn't gain 5 pounds, but he could drink 5 shots pretty damn easy.
He's so tired of beating us in all the sports.
Yeah, he's so tired.
Jesus
Well, all right.
Christ, man. You can't set your... Okay, I'll say this. It's the only, like, shit I'll talk. You can't set yourself up to be a bigger asshole than he did. He was nice, like, when I met him, but he made himself look like such a dick going into it.
Those push-ups with the raw egg was probably, like, the favorite video I've ever seen in my life.
He should have just, like...
He should have quit after that.
Egg is not, like, a fun thing to do, but when the camera's on you and, like, you already know you're going to post it no matter what, you should just eat it.
Yeah, you should just swallow it and not say that you ate a raw egg, but then spit everything out.
But, you know, it's whatever.
Well, all right. Continue your bender of just drinking and eating fatty foods.
Yeah, we'll keep celebrating.
Yeah, never stop the celebration. Thank you for fighting. I'll see you tonight.
Also, I want to thank you and the whole Barstool team. You guys were great.
Thank you.
You specifically for talking me into it because I was a little bit like wary at first, but you know I'm glad I did it at the end of the day.
You said you wanted Carl, and I got you Carl.
It's the only person I would have fought.
The only person. All right. Peace out.
Boys. You have a good one.
All right, bye. And girls.
And ladies. Boys and girls, sorry.
All right, good cover. All right, bye.
Fuck. All right, bye.
All right, well, that was interesting. Let me give my take on Rough N Rowdy. Emma and Isabel were there as merch girls, so they really didn't get to see a lot of the behind-the-scenes fighting, but it was a wild time, should I say so, Charlie? What did you think about it?
Well, first-hand experience, I was down there ringside filming for a video that maybe might hopefully come out.
It's
for
coming
y'all.
out.
Yeah, it'll come. And I was just standing next to Mike while he was saying some shit.
All right.
I think that he was blacked out, just like.
I was blacked
So
out.
were you guys ringside or were you guys?
Oh yeah, no, we were.
I was literally in his corner.
Yeah,
Like,
we got
literally,
there.
like, I was
Because you
touching
Snapchatted
his
me a couple times and you were like in the stands kind of, but I didn't know if you guys were literally like on the tarp.
No, yeah, we were on the fucking, like, we were right, like, I could reach out and touch him
Yeah,
when
we
he was
got
sitting
yelled
in
at
the
a
chair.
couple times, told us to back us up.
Well, they told me, they pulled me down a couple times because I think sometimes when he was getting knocked out, I was trying to jump in and, like, somebody would pull me back. I don't know who it was, but it was somebody. I think it was Mike Libri. I think he was pulling me back into society, but I was just, I would say all the people who were there, I would say it was a top 7 fight of the night in terms of fighting and energy in the crowd. I personally can't say a lot about it because I was just on another dimension, just saying the worst things a human could say. I'm not even going to apologize for it because I meant every bit of it, because Barstool Clemson has been up my ass since the second I started being a viceroy, and it was just so fulfilling to see me well, not me.
It was a release.
Yeah, it was a release
It's a
of
release of some demons.
everything
Some
I wanted to
demons
say.
What is an exorcism?
Yeah, everything I want to say on social media, but can't because I'd probably get arrested and put into an insane asylum. I said it to his face, which felt really good. The best part about it is Barstool Clemson is a lot of talk on the internet. Like, they like to chirp a lot. But the first thing I did when I went in there is I saw Clemson Carl all by himself, and I walked right up to him, and I puffed my chest at him. I, like, hit him a little bit, and I was like, yo, like, I'm Mike. I'm the kid you wanted to fight. He goes, no, man, I want to fight you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're huge. Like, you're crazy. Oh, you're sure? You're talking a lot on the internet about how you wanted to fight me and how you wanted to fight the main person who run Barstool UFSC. He's like, no, man, like, that was all talk. And then I was like, you see our guy over there? And perfect timing. Christian was on the scale weighing in, and he flexed at Clemson Carl. And Christian, by the way, is just a specimen. He is just very big. And he flexed at Clemson Carl. He goes, oh, shit. He goes, what's he weigh in at? I go, Christian, what do you weigh in at? He goes, 169. I go, I told you he'd be under 70. Yeah, sex. I was like, I told you he'd be under 170. He goes, oh, shit. I go, what'd you weigh in at? He was like, 161. I was like, oh, it must have been real tough to gain those 5 pounds you were complaining about. He was like, yeah. Like, it was all right. Like, I don't know. And I was like, all right, we'll see you out there in the ring, man. I, like, pat him on the back really hard. And I just, like, walked away. You could tell the fear in his eyes.
Obviously Carolina had a lot of people in support. And the Bird Dog fight was going on as well, which we haven't really talked about. Because I watched the whole thing on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about, like, Christian talked about being a Barstool, but, like, oh, so Barstool. Yeah, right when the fight was about to happen, the audio was completely screwed up. Like, it was, like, echoing, like it sounded like it was speaking, were they speaking to the crowd? Like,
no, we couldn't hear
it sounded like they were speaking to the crowd, but they didn't have it on hooked up. It was just, like, echoing. You couldn't understand a damn thing they were saying. And I was, like, getting so frustrated because I was like, this is, like, the perfect fight. Like, Clemson-Carolina rivalry, like, it's in Charlotte, like, they need to talk about it. Luckily, they were able to, like,
Did
get
they
it
pause
running.
the fighting when they were fixing
serious?
it?
No, they just kept going.
fighting.
And so,
The show
like,
didn't
they came
stop.
out, and I was kind of like, oh, like, come on, Christian, let's go. And then I was kind of like, but this sucks because they're not even talking about, like, this is just another, just, like, slugfest out there, and nobody has any idea what the, like, repercussions of it are. But luckily, they were able to, like, talk a little bit about it. They were like, okay, there's 2 viceroys out here, like, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I heard they
But-
cut back in, and they're like, Big Cat cut back in. He was like, all
He
right,
was getting shit
we're
on
back.
Twitter.
Breaking news, we bombed Syria.
He was, that was how he
was
came
like,
back in.
yeah, he was like, breaking news, we bombed Syria. And then press was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, we bombed Syria.
Actually, and I was like, oh, it's funny, and then we actually did. So I was like, oh, wow. But he was getting unloaded on Twitter, and all of them were. So it was like his only way he could come back into it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because people were really frustrated. But it was like good to see that. But did
Yeah.
Clemson have like any support there as well? Because
No, he
No.
came alone.
He
No,
came
he was
alone.
with his girlfriend.
Sad.
His girlfriend was
Well, no,
there.
his Charlotte's not that far
his
from us,
family
right?
was there. I actually felt bad about that.
2 of his cousins were there, and they bet Charlie.
His girlfriend seemed really nice.
She's really cute.
Yeah, his girlfriend was working the merch table, so I don't know if she saw his fight, but hopefully she didn't, because if that was my girlfriend, I would want them to break up with me if I got my ass kicked that bad.
She tried not to watch. But honestly, the moral of the story is, if you're a nice dude, which he seems like it, don't be a dick online. Like, don't make people hate you if you're actually nice. I don't know
Because
why.
you will get your shit rocked.
I think he wanted to play the villain card, though. I think that's like Clemson's thing.
That's Clemson's
That's their
thing,
thing,
yeah.
is they like to be like the villain of the story. Like I don't know. I mean, we don't really do ourselves any favors, I don't think.
We like to talk
We
a
like
lot.
to, we like
to be the underdog.
Yeah, we have the underdog that's kind of like scrappy, but they like to be like the villain. I think they embrace that role a lot, especially online.
It was just awesome. It was such a good experience. Like, meeting, like, the Bavarian Hercules was probably the most interesting thing
I was
about
so
it.
into that fight, dude. I was like on my feet cheering for Thrilly. Like, and my dad, who's arguably a bigger stoolie than I am, was watching the fight with me in Atlanta, and he was like pulling for Thrill, because I've literally been watching his videos just like Charlie has since like he came out with that alumni baseball game one in his car when he's like screaming and threatening the alumni baseball or the college baseball team. So I've like always been a fan of him, so I was pulling for him hard. But it was like definitely worth the hype. Like, it was a good fight. And
I was gonna say the Bavarian Hercules stole my heart after I talked to him. I just walked up to him and I was like, "What's up,
Super
man?"
nice
Like,
guy.
I was like, "I'm from Austria. Like, my family's from Austria." And he was like, "Oh, nice." And I was just like, "Are you excited for the fight? Are you nervous at all?" He was like, "No, it gives me more time to get my macros in. Like, I have to eat a certain amount of carbs every day. So this time in between our fight gives me a lot of time to get more protein and carbs." And I was just like, "What?" I was like, "Dude, you're literally like fighting a human." He's like, "Yeah, I know. Like, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have the opportunity to go out there and do it." And I was just like, "What?"
I'll tell you when he stole my heart. John and I were talking to him before the fight, and we asked him, dude, like, if you win a bunch of money. What are you gonna do with it? And he goes, "Oh, my motorcycle is in the shop right now. I'm going to spend all of this money on my motorcycle."
And he won like 5 G's.
Such a badass.
That's awesome. Yeah,
It's
seriously.
so awesome.
You
The
could
coolest
tell.
thing he could have said.
It was just unfair. Well, it was fair, but like Thrilly had no chance. The kid was like 20.
He did better than I thought he was going to. To say, like, to put it like that.
Hearts were not the only thing that were stolen that night. there was a T-shirt debacle
Oh,
at
yes.
the merchandise stand.
Oh yes.
You're the
So-
heroes of the night here.
Yes.
Yes, well, I put up the red alert we were selling, and then the milkman who apparently fought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like a big, well-known.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
the
the milkman.
milkman
The
comes up
milkman.
and he was like, "How do you pay your milkman?" And we were like, "How?" And he says, "In milk." And then he like grabbed a shirt and runs away. Somehow Emma misses that. She's just like, "No!" And I'm like, "Emma, he stole a shirt."
I take off
Hit the jug.
running. I
The
take off
milkman
running.
Hit the jug. You took after. You went
I
after.
ran after the milkman. I chased milkman through like the stadium complex trying to get the shirt back.
Those
Like it
shirts
looked like
were
a
expensive.
cartoon. Like a girl in a fluorescent pink shirt just like running, like bolting after a guy dressed like a milkman, like with the shirt, like
She
yeah.
got it,
Then
though.
then he like turned around, he saw me, and I was like. Had my hands on my hips, like shaking my
Oh,
finger, like,
Mr.
no,
Milkman.
no, Mr. Milkman. And he was like, okay. And so he gave me the shirt back. And so,
I'm gonna save the day.
yeah.
So the real
Sounds like a
heroes,
good goof. Sounds like a good goof.
the real heroes of the night were Emma and Isabel, not Christian. Well,
Yeah.
Emma.
Oh, totally. I mean, if it wasn't for me, that milkman
Yeah.
would have that shirt.
No, he would. It was really a
It's
team
teamwork.
thing.
That, geez, what was
God
it?
forbid
20?
the milkman gets an
$25
adult extra small
shirt.
T-shirt in
Yeah.
the stand.
All right, so breaking news on campus today. As of last night, the date would have been. Somebody date check.
17th.
The 17th. On Tuesday, April 17th, Chris Silva has declared for the NBA draft, but he doesn't have an agent, so that means that he can still stay here, but he until 5 weeks prior, I'm pretty sure. And today, the 18th, Brian Bowen also has declared for the draft. And he says that if the NCAA does not allow him to play this season, he will be NBA bound, which might hurt his draft stock. But he also didn't sign an agent too. So they might both be back. They might both be gone. One of them might be gone. We don't know. Stay tuned. But it's shocking news. And if it does go through and they both go to the league, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's
Not good. The one recruit that's come here in the last couple of years, it's actually like worth a damn.
Besides PJ Dozier.
Yeah, might be Dunzo.
And the one good thing that we actually have on our team right now is going to leave. SEC Defensive Player of the Year and SEC All-First team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a real kick.
Problematic.
Yeah, that would be a kick in the balls, you could say, for our basketball team.
It would be cool if we
In
had
the
two
cock.
people go to the NBA, though. I mean,
Also in basketball news, Asia Wilson,
Asia
True.
Wilson.
There's always a good side.
our
Yeah.
sweetheart
Yeah.
of this podcast.
The only good side.
USC sweetheart.
She went number 1 in the WNBA draft to the Las Vegas Aces.
Not a big
The
deal.
Las Vegas Aces, yeah, not a big deal. She is their first draft pick ever. I think they're a expansion team or something. Relocation.
Vegas glowing up this year.
Yeah, Vegas is just killing it in the sporting teams arenas. But their new head coach is Bill Laimbeer, so maybe he can teach her some things on being in the post with his time with the Pistons. So that's gonna be fun to watch her in the WNBA. I know.
So proud.
I know I'll be getting a 22 Las Vegas Aces jersey. I don't know about you guys.
Yes.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't sell them yet, but
But when they
when
do,
they do.
they're dope too. They're like black with like gold
They
accents.
sell them on Allied Express. Allied Express probably already released that line at this point.
This
Oh,
segment is
you'll
brought
get
to you
it.
by.
I want to
Want to
get.
get your jersey in 8 months and with the name misspelled?
I want to get a woman's cut jersey though. I don't want a
You don't
men's
mind. The
jersey.
number's going off.
I
Back
I want. I want
Worth it either way.
authentic. But yeah, that's awesome.
Alicia Gray just went back. She left campus, I think, this week to go
Yeah.
back after her Rookie of the Year last year.
So we're doing good in the women's department. The men's department, though, not too good. Hopefully they stay. If they don't, the basketball team is destined to probably be the worst in the SEC. I would say so. Who would we have on the team?
Nobody.
Kotsar. He would probably be the star of the team.
Ooh.
And we would
Manaya
have
is like the only
Oh yeah.
Solid. player.
trustworthy.
because Booker's gone too, and I think what's his name is coming back. Raw Felder will be back, but
Felder will be
still
back, yeah.
Felder and Kotsar and Gravit and Manaya, I don't think is going to get you to the tournament or the NIT tournament. So that's going to be pretty sad. But hopefully it all works out and Bowen can play. And then Silva's like, oh wow, Bowen's playing. I'm going to stay for one more year and make a run.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then
see,
everything
we'll
will
see.
be awesome.
I
But
saw we just signed a couple new guys too, so hopefully they'll have better impact than their
predecessors.
Their ratings or predecessors, either one. Honestly, I don't know what they're rated, but I haven't heard a ton of hoopla about them, so I'm assuming they're no like 5-star or anything. But either way,
Sounds like a lot of.
Either way, college basketball for South Carolina is looking grim right now with our superstar Asia Wilson out of the door and Silva and possibly Brian Bowen out the door. It will be a sad year in Columbia next year for basketball, but hopefully the football team can make it up for us and get into another bowl game, possibly the college football playoffs.
You'll see
Doesn't
that
take
video?
much. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
See that video? Ooh,
On a lighter note.
much lighter.
On a lighter
Maybe
note,
not. I don't know
on a
what
better
the
note,
situation is.
we're a lax school now, a club lax school, which is astounding to me. Didn't know we had a club lax team until last year, and we are just kicking asses, taking names, stepping on throats. We're ranked number 3 in the country right now for club lacrosse. We won the SECL regular division. Don't quote me on that. I think it's the SECL. SELC. It's fine. It's all right. But we're heading to the tournament, and the club lax team is rolling. We beat Clemson, like we said before on the Christian interview, so that hopefully turns the tide on that.
Beat everyone. Undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated, 14-0. We have a good, nice tournament coming up. Hopefully we can go undefeated in that, and then go to nationals, and then win all that, and then just Club Lax national champions 2018. We'll go nuts. Parties will be in the streets. Everybody will be in the fountains.
They
It'll
build a
be-
stadium in the black fields instead of just a field. It's like an actual stadium for the Club Lax team.
Yeah, if you do want to donate to the Club Lax team, they have a GoFundMe going on right now to get them to nationals, and I think they're trying to raise like $40K or something to fund their plane tickets and all that hotel fees and all that jazz to get to Utah. I'm pretty sure.
This
Don't come down
podcast
that
brought to you by the Club Lax
Club
GoFundMe.
Yeah. But that's awesome that we have one thing going good for us on USC right now.
It's awesome.
I'm just hanging my hat on football. Football's going to be so good. I pray to God every night that football is going to make me happy.
Yeah, and moving towards something not so fun, we've got the worst time of the year, arguably, if you're a University of South Carolina student. That's registration. And I came back for it from Atlanta just to make sure I could get my ducks in a row before I attend my Maymester. But I've already not gotten into 3 of my classes that I was advised for.
Damn,
I had a panic attack. I was in the fetal position, naked on the ground, crying my eyes out 2 hours ago. So I'm glad I was able to clean myself up for the podcast.
Recovery.
Keep that in mind that Hunter is a soon-to-be senior too, so these classes
Yeah,
are really important.
It's a pretty big deal, but
It's like make or break. Like you're probably not going to graduate on time
yeah,
if you don't get these classes.
thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I'll be all right. It'll
Hunter
work
is
out.
back in the fetal position.
Yeah, I'm currently on the ground right
He's
now.
starting to take off his shirt.
But registration,
No, Hunter, no!
registration is just a fun time at USC where everybody gets their hopes up the week before, plans out their schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm not gonna have a class until like 12, and then I'm gonna end my days at like 3, and then I'm gonna have all this free time to do all my work. And then they sit down.
Next week,
they,
at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
p.m.
They sit down and they enter all their little CRNs, and it's like, oh, you got one of them, and it was the one that was like at like 6 p.m. You're just like, well, fuck.
That was essentially exactly what happened to me 3 days ago. So
And it's just, I don't even know the system behind it. It's
Hey, at least
student
it-
athletes.
At least it didn't crash this
Yeah,
time.
no, last
yeah, there was a crash.
I was
Last semester.
so lucky last semester. I set my schedule in, and it was all good. And like right after everything crashed, and everyone was like, just everything just started like
Pandemonium.
burning, and there was screams everywhere around me, and I was just kind of sitting in my like little happy bubble.
That's
That's
not
a
even
lot.
USC had to-
exaggeration.
they had to
was
release an
boring.
official
You could hear
statement on
people
that, didn't they?
screaming.
Yeah.
Emma was also a freshman when this happened too, so she is probably the luckiest freshman on campus.
Yes.
when
Yeah.
that
It
happened.
took me
Given-
6 hours.
Given I had not knowing, I had made for myself maybe the worst schedule in all of history.
Yeah,
Thinking that it was
Emma-
a great idea.
Emma was so happy thinking that she got all of her classes, but really she just took the 8 a.m.s and the 6 p.m.s that nobody wanted anyways.
No, I think you're thinking the 7 o'clock, because that's.
8 a.m. and 6 p.m. gap.
Yeah.
Rock that
Actually, I
gap.
don't have any 8 a.m.s. I have noons.
I will say it does get better. I'm a senior right now and I got all my classes, but they're all like the higher level ones where there's only 20 kids in them, so it's a lot
Can you
easier.
hold me like 18 hours worth of class?
Yeah, that's I'm getting hit up right now up the ass because I only have to take like 3 classes. Like, can you hold these
Oh
classes
my
for me?
gosh, I
Can you
know.
hold
As
these
soon
classes for
as
me?
anyone finds out you have registered earlier than them, you will get
Yo,
so
yo,
many
We're gonna get
texts.
DMs.
Yo, man, I need Environment
No,
101.
why?
Please hold it for me, dude. I need it.
So I did do that when I was freshman.
I just killed my
SpongeBob
voice right
voice.
I just don't understand the system. USC is always been flawed. They let athletes register first, which I completely get because they actually have like strict schedules that they need to follow, so they need to get like all their classes at their certain times. and then they let students with disabilities register
Which
with
means-
athletes, which like sometimes like all right, you have a disability, you need specific time.
Most of the time, it means
Most
you
of
went to
the
your doctor and got
Yeah.
ADHD meds.
Or you are a bad test taker and you
have
get
test
anxiety.
anxiety.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
test anxiety.
Just know that
So
we are officially saying that if you have disabilities, we don't like you.
No,
Yeah.
No.
if you have anxiety,
That is the hottest take of all
a
time.
big fuck you if you really like if you're somebody listening and you know your disability isn't like a real disability and somebody else really needs it, a big fuck you for stealing our classes.
And for
Okay, yeah.
stealing the classes of people with real disabilities.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
fuck you. Yeah. You can go fuck yourself.
But the rest of you guys, I mean, it's
yeah,
a challenge.
God bless. It's literally
Good
Hunger
luck.
Games. It's literally like
Thank you.
No, it is. Am I the only one who like sits in front of my computer like 15 minutes before my registration time
Yep.
and just keeps reloading the
I was
page?
there
Yes.
40 minutes
And
before.
watching the number of seats decrease.
Yeah.
Like they go one by one. I'm like, no.
Today I had registration at 4. My class started at 3:55. So I
Yeah,
got to
skip
class. Huh?
Gotta skip class.
Well,
Yeah,
I,
you
I
got
was
it.
I was
Yeah,
in
you
class,
skipped
but I was in the J school, so I had a computer there.
Oh, okay.
I took the Ethernet cable from the computer and put it in my laptop so I could get quicker speed.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the
Jeez.
computer next to me with the seconds counting down, just waiting till that thing hit 4. I was early. Actually, that's a lie. I wasn't early to class, but the second I got in there, I was like, all right, I don't care what the teacher's saying. Like this is. If I have to go through, because there were only I think 6 seats left in 2 of my classes. And I had no idea. It turns out like only 2 of us got them at 4, but like in my head, like everyone was going to be going for these classes.
Oh, yeah.
well, yeah, that's what you
No,
gotta
it
think,
was
especially when you're
so
an
late
underclassman.
last
Like it's
semester.
just like slim pickings at that point. It's like fuck. Like I just want to get in. I don't care if it's at 8 a.m., 8 p.m. I just want to get in so I can get it done
I
with.
want a merit-based system. I'm gonna say it. I want my test scores and my
They-
GPA to speak for myself.
They do, so it goes by grade, right? And
Goes by
then
It goes by credit hours.
no, it goes by
Credit.
credit hours, but then if you have the same number of credit hours as someone, if you're farther along in your degree, like because certain degrees you can be farther along the same number of credit hours, you'll get to
I was gonna say if you're like an upperclassman, don't fear because I'm pretty sure if you really need the class, you get put like over.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
they'll just stick you in there because there's always more than enough seats because somebody's not showing up every day,
Yeah.
every class.
Pro tip: just email the professor. They'll probably squeeze you in.
Don't email your advisors during this time.
No,
either,
they
pro
no.
tip.
Let them.
No.
Don't
do
email
their
your
job. They
advisors
hate their
ever.
lives.
I am also on the record Charlie's advisor because he's a freshman and his advisor didn't give him any help, so I pretty much told Charlie what to do for the business school. So if you need business school advisement, I will be charging $10 per session, and I'll
Dude,
set
you
up
can
your
charge
schedules
more
for
than
you.
that.
Yeah.
I'm good at it too. Like
I don't know.
I understand the shit. Like I know what you need to take and what you need to get done and your course requirements. It's pretty easy. I like doing that stuff. I'm a little nerd when it comes to scheduling.
You're just a little nerd all the time.
Yeah, big little nerd. But yeah, that's scheduling. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on all of our social medias at Barstool UVSC on Twitter, at Barstool Gamecocks on Instagram, at Barstool Cocks on Snapchat. It's been dormant, but big comeback next
Bring it
year.
back.
Bring it back.
For a major comeback.
And that's it for the Gamecock Rundown 2.0.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Gamecock
it.
Rundown 2.0. Have a great summer. Maybe we'll see you for another episode if like some catastrophic bomb comes off in the next 2 weeks. But
Doubt it.
R.I.P. Tilted
doubt it.
Towers.
Good luck with finals.
R.I.P. Tilted Towers.
Tonight.
Good luck with finals. Hopefully the baseball team can make the tournament. See you next fall. Hopefully it'll be a good fall, guys. Ramping up the Barstool brand. Ramping up Barstool UVSC. It'll be
Content.
fun. Content. The team.
What do we look for? Spunk,
Spunk.
availability.
Yeah, probably
That's it.
hiring people too.
That's it.
Yeah. But thank you guys. Have a nice one. Peace.